activity journal now. I like to write down things like what enemies I fought today, or minerals I found. I keep track of my daily activities. I originally started by copying Manon after she showed me her journal a while back. But her journal is like super detailed. She keeps records of things like enemy weak points and behaviors, where she found which mineral, what it does, stuff like that. I take a look at it once in a while, and it's really helpful. She's a really good teacher, too. Hey, that's not very nice. I know it might be hard to believe, but I'm doing my best, okay? I mean, no one ever taught me how to be an Arcs Defender when I was in Aelio Town. I think I mentioned it before, but my dad was always telling me I was still too young. But ever since Manon showed up, she's taught me so many things. I mean, all I've really been doing is following her around, but I've learned stuff like how to fight and which fruits and vegetables are safe to eat. Everything I know about being an Arcs Defender, I learned from her. That's why I think of her as my professor, as far as being an Arcs Defender, at least. But she's also someone I can count on, almost like a big sister. So that's why it's so important for me to do the best I can to pull my own weight. And thank you, too. Well, I better get going now. See you later! Oh, hey! I didn't know you were here. Yep. I just got back here a minute ago. Sometimes, I just like to sit here and people watch. It's so nice to see people chatting with friends and kids running around playing. Just sitting here and taking it all in fills me with this wonderful sense of peace. I really love Central City. It's great. When I was living in Aelio Town, I never had much reason to come here. Maybe it was because I was still a little girl, but Central always seemed like such a big and scary place. Now, I really love it here. I love all the operators, all the shopkeepers, the supply unit, the maintenance crew, all the researchers, all the kids, and the people who teach all the kids. I've never seen it, but I've heard there are people in an underground factory who make all the food and weapons. It takes all of these people to make this city work. So, I need to make sure I do my part for all the people who live in this city, too. As an Arcs Defender. Before, I was the one being protected, but now it's my turn to be the protector. Sounds good. We can do this. Well, looks like break time is over. I better get going. There are still so many things I need to do. Gotta keep moving. See you later! What are you doing here? Oh, okay. I come here once in a while. I give my dad updates about what's going on. Like, hey, this is what I did the other day. Or, hey, I'm thinking about doing this or that. Talking to him like that while I clean up the monument really helps calm me down. And it also brings back memories. I remember this one time I was practicing gliding by myself, and I got stuck in this really tall tree. Or another time I was hunting tames, and I got completely lost. my dad would always come flying to bail me out with this super angry look on his face. And then he would take me aside and tell me not to do that kind of thing. The people of the town would always stick up for me when my dad got like that. They'd all try to comfort me and then go get in my dad's face for me and stuff. I used to hate it because I really didn't want any kind of special treatment. But looking back, now I understand they were all just doing that because they really cared about me. And now they're all gone. It hurts. I'm okay. They laid down their lives for us. There's no way I can let them down. Well, time to give my dad an update. Wanna do it with me? Hey, what are you doing here? I was here gathering fruits and vegetables, and I can't believe this pot is still here. Apparently the parts are valuable, so they get salvaged pretty fast. I guess this is where everything got started. I still remember that day. It wasn't even that long ago, but it feels like it's been forever. You dropped down from the sky in this pod. Then Dark Falls attacked, and Aelio Town was... I've wondered so many times since then. What would I have thought of the person I am now? There have been some really hard times, but I've made lots of good memories too. I've had so many adventures with you and Manon. I also like to think I'm a better Arcs defender now. I'm sure my dad would set me straight on that if he was here. But I just know I'll get to where I need to be if I keep pushing myself and never, ever give up. I just know it. So, thank you. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without you and Manon. It's a little embarrassing saying it like this, but I've been wanting to express my gratitude for a while. Here's to more adventures. Oh, it's you. You startled me. I was just in Rezel Forest, but I'm having a hard time by myself. Not only are the enemies tough, but they come from out of nowhere. And it's really scary. I mean, I'm not used to it yet. But I definitely think I've gotten better at fighting since the first time I was there. I remember how nervous I was. It was all I could do just to follow you two. I don't even remember the path we took that day. But I grew a lot from that experience, so I'm really glad I did it. I can't thank you and Manon enough. I know. Thank you so much. When I heard that next Aelio had appeared, and Dozer had gone missing, all I knew was that I had to volunteer to help. I wasn't even thinking about enemies, or what kind of place Rezel Forest might be. When both of you agreed to let me join, it made me feel like I could handle it. felt like just as long as we were together, I didn't need to be afraid of any enemy. My dad used to always get so mad at me and say, "You always act without thinking." But he also used to say that it was better than overthinking things and doing nothing. I think that's probably just how I am. Hey, will you promise to stop me if I'm ever about to do something really dumb? If I know you and Manon are there to put the brakes on me, then I'll be free to go full speed ahead. I know, I'm asking just in case. Because sometimes I focus too much on what's right in front of me. I'm so glad I have you around to help me. Thank you.
You scared me. I didn't know you were here. I must have been so lost in thought I didn't detect your presence. I need to be more careful. I often come here when I need to be alone. The sound of the water helps me relax when things get to be too much. Well, if I said no, I wouldn't quite be telling the truth. I just wish I had done some things differently. I look back on certain things and wish I had done this or said that. I've done things that I wish I could take back. I know Aina thinks I'm such an amazing person, but all of my book learning is totally meaningless if I don't actually apply it. It's actually Aina who's the amazing one. She's gone through so much, but nothing ever seems to keep her down. A lot of people would simply shut down or let themselves be overcome by rage, but not her. I know she looks up to me so much as a role model. That's why I absolutely can't let her down. So I have to do my best to keep putting on a brave face, even if it's just in front of her. What am I doing? Why am I telling you all of this? I can't figure you out. You always act like you're not even paying attention. The truth is, you're actually taking everything in. I guess maybe that's why Aina feels so safe around you. Do me a favor? Please don't tell Aina about any of this. Maybe someday I'll be able to tell her myself, but that time isn't now. Promise me, okay? What are you doing here? I visit once in a while. I still can't believe all of this happened here. From your perspective, I guess it happened right after you arrived on Helpha. Aelio Town was a really nice place. Everyone was so warm and kind. When I first arrived on Helpha, there was a problem with the door of my pod and I couldn't get out. If it wasn't for Aelio Town Arcs, I'd still be trapped in there even now. Everyone showed up to help out, and they eventually got the door open. It was exactly the same as when you arrived. Everyone was so welcoming to me. They all seemed overjoyed that a new friend had arrived. And they couldn't wait to teach me everything about this planet. They were all so strong, too. Mid-sized dolls units were no match for any of them. I watched Garoa go up against huge dolls units, 5 at a time by himself, and win. Just one swing of that huge axe, and I just can't believe this all happened. You're right. I know. We have to keep fighting. I'm sorry. Please don't worry about me. I try so hard not to show weakness in front of anyone. But with you, I just... Can I be alone for a little while? I'll go back to Central City once I get it together. I finally made it here. I'm sorry it took me so long. All my friends. Garoa. I've known about this place for a while. But when Aina called me while you two were building this, I just couldn't answer her call. I was too afraid to face reality. I have a feeling that I'm not really facing it even now. Not directly, anyway. Garoa used to always ask me to make sure I kept an eye on Aina. He probably didn't mean anything by it at the time. It was probably just because I was the closest to Aina in terms of age. I guess he just thought it would be nice for her to have a big sister. But now, that responsibility is a huge weight on my shoulders. I'm responsible for her now. I feel the weight of that. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Aina's gotten so good at fighting lately, mentally and physically. She's doing so well working through her grief and moving forward. That's why I need to keep a positive attitude too. I have to grow up, because I have to set a good example for her. And that's the reason I came here. I promise. Garoa, you, and everyone. I swear to protect Aina, no matter what happens. That's the very least that I can do. For everyone. I see. So, that's what this is. But wait, wouldn't it be, I see. Then, in that case... Oh, yes, I'm looking into something. This happened once before, didn't it? Enemies never sneak up on me like that. You must be working on your stealth techniques. Well, anyway... Yes, I'm looking into something about the Vanford Laboratory. A personal interest. Apparently, it gets its name from Crawford's grandfather. Before it was destroyed during the invasion, he researched and developed a lot of technology for ARCs. So it was named after him because of his contributions. The technology he developed is still used to power Central City and fight the dolls to this day. Everything we see here was destroyed in the massive Dolls invasion. Bamford didn't care about saving the facility. He fought on the front lines so his friends could evacuate. That's how he lost his life. What an amazing person. It's hard to believe that Alpha just swallows up such great people. This place is so... I have the feeling that what happened here is the reason that Crawford is so focused on defense rather than offense. He's afraid of losing everything again. But I think that's the right decision. He's the reason that the people of Central City can live peacefully without fear. I want to be a part of that. Good. I had a feeling you might say that. I hope you'll be right by my side. Oh, you're here too. No, I'm just doing a little homework on enemies in Rezel Forest. I'm trying to learn more about how the dolls communicate. They all appear to operate autonomously and independently, but sometimes they seem to operate as part of some kind of collective consciousness. Did you know there are certain dolls units known as command dolls? Petus Vera, for example. As the name implies, command dolls give orders to other dolls units. They're the dolls' officers, basically. That next Aelio that we encountered in this forest was an especially powerful one. According to the database, it's classified as a command unit. That time when Dozer had gone missing in action, it was sending orders all over Aelio. Dolls units under its command all started marching on Central City at once. It was basically acting as a command tower. If we hadn't knocked it down, Central City would have been in trouble. I'm so glad we were able to put a stop to it. Of course, it's possible that we somehow just got lucky against all odds. Well, at least that's what it said on the report I got from Crawford. He's really done a lot of research on it. But the real issue is that... is this too much all at once for you? Alright, I guess that's enough for today's lesson. I'll let you know if I learn anything else.
Hey, there you are. I just finished up a mission. I was heading back. Standing here with you now takes me back to that day. You, Aina, and Manon's first mission. The three of you fought pretty well for being fresh out of basic training. I guess I'm the one who decided you were ready to get right in the action after seeing how well you did in the training. But I didn't think you'd be in battle so soon after that. In the end, though, I think Crawford made the right call. That you and Manon could do that right after landing on the planet shows how resilient you two are. I hope the two of you keep doing what you're doing. And Aina, too. She had just lost her father and sustained serious injury. From what I hear, she still didn't even know her way around her weapon yet. She displayed incredible fortitude and courage in that battle. But compared to you, Meteor, she's still a work in progress. With some more experience, I'm sure the sky's the limit for her. Attitude is what's most important. She seems like she's in such a hurry to prove herself. In a way, she's trying to put what happened at Aelio Town to good use, without being consumed by anger. Using anger and hatred as motivation always warps a person's soul. As long as she keeps focusing on improving herself, she'll be fine. Slow and steady wins the race. I need you and Manon to keep an eye on her. You know, I think something is weighing on Manon, too. I need you to lead the two of them by example. Oh, it's you. Good timing. Can I talk to you for a moment? I still have a hard time believing this happened. Aelio Town just gone, just like that. The town was responsible for defense all the way from South Aelio to West Aelio. It covered the area that's cut off from Central City by the mountains. But dolls often attack from the sea as well. Even now, it's hard to predict where they might attack from. It was a tall order for the people of Aelio Town, but they were always more than up to the task. Thanks to their efforts, Central City didn't face any serious danger for a long time. As you might expect from people with such responsibility, they were pretty tough. But Garoa was a cut above the rest. Mind, body, and spirit in perfect balance, and all at a very high level. His instincts were honed by experience, and he knew how to execute on them. Aelio Town and Central City would do practice drills together once in a while. It was all friendly, of course, but things could get pretty competitive. I used to get matched up against Garoa often. I never did manage to beat him, not even once. It's true, not a single time. He left us before I could settle the score. I'm not sure Arx will ever have another defender quite like him. He was a force of nature when he fought, but he was so easy to get along with otherwise. He was warm. Just being around him was enough to make all my little worries melt away. All the other townspeople were kind-hearted too. I can't allow them to have died in vain. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. What a coincidence, seeing you here. I see. I was on patrol and thought I'd stop by here. I was reminiscing a little bit. I'm a Meteorn too. Just like you and Manon. This patch of coast here is where I landed. How could I forget? I was so disoriented when I got out of the pod that I was a sitting duck. Before I knew it, I was completely surrounded by enemies. I had a weapon in my hand that I knew how to use for some reason, but I was outnumbered. They slowly closed in on me. I remember thinking I was gonna die right there, and I had no idea who I even was. And then an Arx defender showed up. He cut through all of them like a hot knife through butter. I had never seen anything quite like it. It was Crawford. At the time, he wasn't the head of Central City yet. He was just an ordinary Arx defender. Apparently, he happened to see my pod make planetfall and came to see if I needed help. He carried me back to Central and patched me up good as new. And he welcomed me as a citizen of Central City. After that, he taught me how to get by on Alpha and how to fight. He sure was a stickler for the basics. His curriculum was as detailed and meticulous as you might expect. And he's a pretty demanding teacher, too. I'm an absolute teddy bear compared to that guy. Crawford made me who I am today. I do what I do now as my way of paying him back. I need you to be in his corner, too. He's charismatic, but the truth is that he doesn't have many people who understand him. I'd appreciate it. It's you again. What are you up to this time? Nice. Good for you. Daily patrols are the best way to keep everyone safe around here. I appreciate you being so, proactive, even when you're off duty. Hey, thanks for your help. I mean about that incident with Aelio in this forest here. I think I was overconfident back then. Rezel is a pretty bewildering forest, but I've been here so many times I figured I had it all mapped out. And I knew everything there was to know about the dolls here. Or so I thought. But everything was different that day. The dolls were more powerful, and they completely jammed my comms. And of course, Aelio. Nothing could have prepared me for that. We would kill one enemy and two would take its place. And pretty soon we were surrounded. I was sure we would be wiped out. If the three of you hadn't shown up, I have no doubt that would have been the case. My relationship with Aelio goes back 10 years. The same thing had happened 10 years prior. A sudden invasion by Aelio and dolls. At the time, Central City's defenses still weren't completed. We somehow managed to repel them after a fierce battle, but both sides suffered heavy losses. I also took part in the fighting, but I was no match for them, and so I didn't contribute much. My inability to see the bigger picture cost the lives of a lot of friends. And so, all those memories and feelings came flooding back to me during the battle the other day. There's a lot I need to reflect upon. I wouldn't be the person I am now without you three. You helped me to settle the score with Aelio. I owe you my gratitude. Thank you. I'll pay you back someday on the battlefield, I'm sure. You have my word. Fancy seeing you here. Do you have a moment? I'd like to talk to you. Thank you. I'm training some rookie Arcs defenders. I've still got a little time to kill until they finish up running through Atrania. I'll get right to the point. Do you know what's going on with Manon lately? You might have picked up on it by now, but Manon's got a dark side. She's a top-notch Arcs defender, but I'm worried that it might be steering her in the wrong direction. I'm not sure what the source of Manon's sadness is. If she doesn't want to volunteer the information, then it's not really my place to pry. However, you can't have any baggage like that in battle. Sometimes it can cause a person to make poor decisions. The problem with that is, it doesn't just affect you, but everyone around you too. I'm saying this based on my own personal experience. Aina is facing her past head on and trying to overcome it as quickly as possible. But seems to be doing everything she can to stuff it all inside. That never works. She's going to explode someday. If Manon happens to ask for some help, I need you two to be there for her. The three of you are always together, so I'm sure you'd notice subtle changes in behavior. A team is about more than being a force multiplier. A real team is one with true bonds between its members. I want you to keep that in mind. Hope I didn't sound like I was lecturing you. Well, those rookies should be getting back from the training right about now. Sorry to ambush you with a talk like that. Thanks for listening. Keep an eye on Manon, would you?
Oh! We hardly ever see each other outside the command room. No, just the opposite, actually. I just finished an operator assignment. Crawford is always telling me I need to slow down and take a break once in a while. But it's actually Crawford who never seems to take any breaks. Not only does he handle Battle Command, but he also manages Central City's administration. He even takes the time to meet with ARC's defenders individually. I wonder when in the world he ever sleeps, and yet he never looks the slightest bit tired. Yes, he's a leader we can all count on. But at first glance, he looks more like an ineffectual type. You know, back when I was first starting out as an operator, I was always super nervous. I'm responsible for people's lives, so I was absolutely terrified of making a mistake. But one time, Crawford came over to me with a kind smile and said, "If you ever feel like you're going to mess up, remember that you can count on my support anytime. And all the other operators are always here for you too, so there's nothing to be afraid of." After that, I started to feel better. I even started initiating conversations with Rosa and the others. Crawford said what I needed to hear, just when I needed to hear it. I'll never forget it. Well, I guess I'd better get back. Oh, and all those things I just said, please don't tell him. Well, good luck on your assignments. And the next time you come to the command room, please be sure to tell Crawford not to work so hard. Take care!
Ah, there you are. I really appreciate all the hard work you do for us every day. Nonsense. I couldn't do what I do without all of your help. I was, just looking at your activity reports, actually. This is the report from Manon. Excellent records, meticulous and detailed. If you could, whenever you have a chance. Aina has sent me several reports as well. It's clear she put a lot of thought and effort into them. Rand and the other operators take care of organizing all of this report data for me. I don't have to lift a finger. I just sit back, have some tea, and wait for the data to come to me. Meanwhile, out in the field, Dozer expertly leads the command in the fight against the dolls. Rand and the others have gotten great at coordinating all the communications, too. Compared to the old days, my job has gotten much easier. And now, I have you three helping as well. At this rate, pretty soon, my only responsibility will be to sit and keep my chair warm. Of course, there's no guarantee that these easy conditions will continue indefinitely. It only takes a single card to fall for the whole house to come tumbling down. That's why I have to make sure to plan every aspect carefully to keep the structure intact. Of course, a strong foundation in the first place is important. Trust me, as the leader of Central City, I intend to carry out these duties to the best of my abilities. Now I have this nagging feeling that Rand asked me to do something. I'd better get back to work. Oh, one more thing. Would you mind stopping by again sometime? I love getting updates from you. Until next time, then. What perfect timing. We just got the data together from the Retem region survey. I don't know if it'll help you in your battles or not, but would you like to take a look? Now, let's take a quick look. First, let's look at Retem's environment. As you can see, Retem is a region covered in sand. The temperature varies wildly between night and day, and it almost never rains. It would seem to be quite a harsh environment for any living creature. And yet a multitude of creatures live there nevertheless, perfectly adapted to their surroundings. We plan to do further research on the life forms there, including all local enemies. However, the environments of two regions connected by border bridges are astonishingly different from one another. We'd like to assign researchers to look into that, but for now, we must prioritize research that can help us in battle. Speaking of astonishing, Sagan Mountain Road, just inside the Retem region, is another strange area. There are electromagnetic and gravitational anomalies there. You'll even find things like huge boulders floating in midair. We think cylindrical structures called the grevs cause the anomalies, but there's still much to learn about them. But let's save that topic for another day. Now, I'll give you an overview of the residents of Retem. Retem is a region plagued by harsh environmental conditions and constantly under the threat of Dahl's attacks. That next Aelio battle the other day posed a major threat to us. However, such threats are commonplace for the people of Retem. They've lost many lives trying to keep their town safe. It's not a surprise that there are people who value strength above all else. It seems to be a basic tenet of theirs that the strong should protect and guide the weak. The circumstances of both Aelio and Retem have always prevented us from interacting with each other much. The cultural differences are also a barrier to mutual understanding. But if you can exhibit strength to them, in spite of all this, I'm sure they'll accept you. I'd like you to reach out to the Retem Ark's defenders and earn their trust. Well, I guess that's enough of an introduction to Retem, for now. All that's left is for you to go and experience it for yourself. I can't wait to hear about it. It's you. Yes, I'm just going over some central canon data. Well, since you're here, why don't I explain more about this weapon? We call it central cannon, but officially, it's apparently a single-mounted photon particle cannon. I say apparently because it's part of the old lost technology. who built it, when, and why still remains a total mystery to us. We use it as a communications tower, and it's an integral part of Central City life. It even extends to underground spaces like this one, almost like the nucleus of the city. When it was first discovered, it wasn't working. My grandfather, Vanford, was the one who began repairing it. Actually, it's probably more accurate to say it was incomplete, rather than not working. At first, quite a few of its parts were missing entirely. It's taken quite a lot of time to understand its structure and build the missing parts. We couldn't get it operational during my grandfather's or my father's time. So of course, the task now falls to me, and, well, let's say it hasn't been easy. We finally got it to the point where we can fire it, but there's still room for improvement. We're especially having difficulty with the durability of the parts we developed. Actually, we even tried a test fire once, a long time ago. Have you noticed that mountain you can see from Central Tower, beyond the shopping plaza? Exactly. The test shot made the hole you see in it today. We meant to fire at the lowest setting, but we accidentally fired at the highest output the cannon had at the time. The barrel was damaged and part of the control unit was broken. The incident showed our design's imperfections. I must say, that failure is not my proudest memory. But it did represent progress in the project, so my feelings about it are mixed. In any case, that failure allowed us to finally bring the cannon to a working stage. But unfortunately, we don't have time to iron out all the kinks. I'm going to need a lot of help to get the remaining repairs done. Your contributions will be invaluable. I'll be counting on your help once again.